So, who else had a giant ass smirk when Ishtar used her Noble Phantasm? I had a smile comparable to Columbus. I exaggerate, my smile ain't that hideous. How's it going, everyone? This is K Collections, and this will be a simple review for episode 17. Basically just sharing my thoughts. If you're wondering why I didn't make a review for the previous episode, I just can't. It's too emotional. That, and I felt like there wasn't too much to talk about. Just a spoiler warning, I will talk about events after this episode, like the final battle or events to come. Leave now if you don't want to know anything. So we have a quick confrontation with Tiamat. If I remember correctly, when she started singing and attacked the characters, her clothing and hair was supposed to turn a little red, and there was an actual fight between her and the characters. But honestly, I really like the way the anime handled this fight. Ishtar using her Noble Phantasm during this fight was anime only, and it was a spectacle. It's a great way to speed through a fight without sacrificing quality, so props to Cloverworks for doing a great job. And we knew this was inevitable. CGI Tiamat. Now, I will say personally, it's not that bad. Some parts weren't good, especially the close-up, and let's be honest, it's very noticeable CGI, and without a doubt, it's out of place and can pull you out of immersion. But some shots like this one, I thought, holy shit, wow, that's pretty damn good if it were one of those JRPG video games, at least that's what it reminded me of. Love it or hate it, I don't think it ruins the anime. Besides, this isn't a major fight, so let's hope in the final battle they will brush up the CGI a bit. Kind of like what they did with Gorgon. At first it looked awful to me, but during the big fights it looked better. I personally can't wait for a third dragon form. That's going to be where all the judgment will come in. But before that, I'm curious on how they will handle the Kingook Chains of Heaven scene. No doubt the whole thing will be CGI, but we'll see. So like, is it me? Or Gilgamesh makes the greatest speeches. Every time he does so, I'm like hooked onto every single word he's saying. And when he deployed the fangs of Napishtim, I'm pretty sure I butchered that. It was an awesome scene, really. For an episode with little fighting, they did a great job setting everything up for the final battle. This episode was also great in showing Gil's funny side. Like all those expressions he made, especially when he found out Eresh was plotting against Uruk. My god, you can't help but love the character more. Speaking of Eresh, we get to see Best Goddess once again. She's just so damn adorable when trying to impress Ritsuka, and we'll see more of that later. Our characters have developed a plan, and the reaction of the Reens was just freaking hilarious. So I read some comments asking why doesn't Gil just use Aya to one-shot Tiamat? Well, for starters, we have to remember that he sealed away Aya and most of his weapons, and those weapons will be used for his cannons. Not only that, it was mentioned in this episode that Tiamat cannot be killed as long as life exists, which is why they had to bring her to the Underworld. But even that isn't going to be successful, and it was stated that Tiamat doesn't have the concept of death. And that is when FGO's best grams come in. But basically, even with Aya, Gilgamesh can damage Tiamat, but not kill her, so by himself, he can't defeat her. It's going to take a team effort to beat Tiamat. But yeah, aside from Gramps appearing, Gil using Aya is yet another scene I'm sure we can't wait for. And finally, we have the useless goddess scene we've all been waiting for, and it did not disappoint. The whole thing was just hilarious, and again, we get to see a friendly side to Gilgamesh, which I always like. The facial expressions, and the moment where Quetzalcoatl punched Taiga off screen made me burst in laughter. Overall, a great episode that sets up for the upcoming final battles or battles to come, because there's going to be a lot. Next episode is going to be an emotional one. The fight with Ushi, Benkei, and Quetzalcoatl sacrificing themselves. Gorgon's fights, really interesting seeing that. No doubt it's going to be a big CGI fight, since both characters are ginormous monsters. But what are your thoughts on this episode? Did you like Tiamat's CGI? Did you hate it? Let me know. A tremendous thanks to all my patrons for supporting me. If you want to support my channel, check out my Patreon or channel membership. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more Fates content. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and join my Discord server. All links are in the description. Have an awesome day, everyone. Till next time.